Giannis got injured today, but I'm a positive guy. I want to focus on Jamal Murray's 52-point absolute screamer. I'm the Mattrix. I'm here with Flanders. This is Ball Logic. We're doing a recap and a waiver wire show all in one. And man, I don't know where to start. Do you start with negatives, like Giannis being injured? Do you start with LaMelo Ball apparently being back? Do you start with Jamal Murray's 52? Honestly, there was a bit of everything on today.
Yeah. Do you start with the rumor of the Pelicans taking the best thing they can find right now for Zion, which could be a bag of chips right now, and they may damn well take it. So we shall see here. But hey, it was a big day in the NBA, and there was a lot going on around here. Good, bad, in between. I'm just keen to tear it apart with you today, mate.
Mate, I can't believe we went this far without mentioning Luke Cornett's game-winning block. Just honestly, man, I feel like I failed as a podcaster not mentioning Luke Cornett earlier.
You're never going to get that clip on any other show but this one all year, guys. Luke Cornett is not going to be the one thing that Mattrix never thinks he's going to talk about 90 seconds into a show. But there were some epic things out here today. Donovan Mitchell still exists. Jamal Murray just proves that he can do it, and Jokic can take a back seat here. They're like, where do we start here? Like, there's some wild things.
Let's get some negative things out of the way. The Milwaukee Bucks won against the Pistons, but the big one was Giannis playing 3 minutes, ruining my Supercoach dreams, helping me in every 9-cap game that I'm in at the moment because I don't have him anywhere because I just couldn't draft him. But man, give us a bit of an update. What are they saying about Giannis?
Yeah, so when he went down, it was a non-contact injury, so everyone suspected straight away Achilles. It wasn't as bad, didn't look to be as bad as the Tatum one. He sort of hit the ground. He was reasonably all right and good spirits on the ground there. Came off. They had some scans so far. I haven't heard any updates yet on it, but they believe it is just going to be a calf strain, and the Achilles is intact, which is really good for all owners of you not having your season ruined in the first week of December.
Yeah, and they'll be completely fine because they've got people like Kevin Porter Jr. on their team.
Ryan Rollins.
Ryan Rollins, Kevin Porter Jr., AJ Green, who absolutely ripped it up today. Don't worry about Miles Turner because he stinks. But
with Giannis as well, that'll happen about 4.5 hours after the rumors of him and his agent sitting down with the Milwaukee Bucks to review what his plan is for the future. So him being traded and then him going down with an injury, it could not have looked like any worse a timing if you paid him for it. But he did go down. It was an injury, and yes, he could. That may be, depending on how long this injury is, and if they do choose to move off him, this could have been the last time we see Giannis in a Bucks jersey.
Oh, I mean, his jersey's going up in the rafters, despite how this goes. I think for Milwaukee, but yeah, I still can't believe Michael Redd's jersey hasn't made it up there yet. But anyway, we will digress. Ryan Rollins, 22, 8 and 4 with the 2 steals. AJ Green played the most amount of minutes out of everyone, 19, 2 and a steal. Kevin Porter Jr. is Gandhi out there, 26, 2 and 7 with 2 steals, and 7 and 7 from the free throw line. Miles Turner stunk it up despite getting those 2 blocks that he's known for. But
less than 20 minutes too, which sucks for his owners.
Yeah, I know. I thought that maybe we should have sold him earlier on in the year, but it is looking more and more like that. He doesn't.
Actually, he was the lowest minutes of anybody that played that game, bar Giannis, which is concerning to see Giannis and Miles Turner go for 22 minutes together.
He kind of fits with this team worse with Giannis not there. That's the problem.
Yeah, for sure. I could not agree more there.
Cade, 17, 7 and 7, which is crazy because that's a quiet game by his standards. 20 points from Toby Harris. Denise Jenkins getting the spot start in this one. I saw him getting snaveled up in the waivers a fair bit, but a bit disappointing despite what he was able to do previously. And Jaden Ivey has kind of reminded people what he can do with 15, 6 and 1.
Yeah, for sure. Dennis Jenkins' usage was down at just the 18% this game here. So we are noticing that trend down of him not being an absolute killer like he used to be out there. Yeah, he's getting some nice stat lines here. Asar Thompson owners will be pretty happy to see he's had a nice return to at least somewhat of form here. The 2 steals today, 6 boards, 5 assists, 10 points. It's probably the stat you're expecting out of Asar, maybe a little bit more out of there, but it's good to see that he's filling the box more closer to what owners would have expected, getting him in the 60s or 70s. Like he was going in some drafts.
Mate, tell us what you saw in the Portland Trailblazers 122 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers 110. It was a back-to-back from Portland, and they looked all right.
Yeah, it was, and they looked pretty good here. We had Donovan Clingan with 5 points and 13 boards there, guys. We had Denny Avdia just doing Denny Avdia things, 27, 8 and 7 with a steal there. Proving great value for a lot of guys who had him there. Be interesting to see what goes on when we see the return of Drew Holiday in the coming weeks there. Tamani Kamara put up 17 points, 6 boards. Jeremy Grant, 16, 5 and 6, which was quite nice. And the bench did contribute a fair bit here. Shaden Sharp coming off the bench still. 29 and 5 with 2 steals, and Caleb Love with 25 and 1 with a steal as well there. That was just a nice all-round game for these guys.
Yeah, look, there was of course some fantasy value. Like, I mean, how good's Denny been this year? Holy moly.
Elite.
Like I'm somebody that come into this year high on Denny, but I never for a second thought that he could be this good.
Yeah, for sure. Denny Avdia on the season at the moment is ranked 41st.
And I think, with some negative rank there, he's negative stat rank. He could be even better and probably will get better. But, I mean, Trailblazers keep doing... I thought this would have been a tanking year for them, to be honest.
Yeah, I could see that there. Obviously, getting Dame over the offseason as well. Drew Holiday, I don't think anybody expected to be doing as well as he did there. Obviously, that was a bit of a salary dump by Boston out there. They did lose Anthony Simons as part of that as well, so they did lose a key shooter there. But they've had some guys step up that we wouldn't have expected to. Jeremy Grant's outperforming what we all would have expected out there. And the step up of Denny Avdia is proving that, there is actually some prospect out there.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Do we want to head on to the next game, or is there anything else you want to chat about there?
On the other side, Evan Mobley, back to form. Just a big fan of that there. 23, 10, and 5. 2 steals, 5 blocks. Great return to form for that man there. Owners will be very happy to see that. Disappointing from Darius Garland, just the 6 points and the 4 assists there. And Donovan Mitchell is just still a beast here, 33, 5, and 5. Other than that, there's not really too much to speak about there. Still no Jared Allen out there, but in the meantime, Jalen Tyson is the one getting the start. DeAndre Hunter's moved through to the 4.
Yeah, mate. I'm with you there. There's nothing really I need to unpack there, but I do want to talk about how good the Denver Nuggets are and maybe how ordinary the Indiana Pacers are. I'm haunted by a trade earlier on in the season, Flanders. And would you like to know what that trade was?
Talk to me about it. I want to hear it, buddy.
Jamal Murray for Domantas Sabonis.
I remember seeing that one go through too.
Yep, and
that sucks for you.
It's haunting me. Jamal Murray, 52 points, 6 and 4 with just the 1 turnover.
Check out the efficiency.
Yeah, 19 of 25, 10 or 11 from 3-point, 4 and 5 from the free throw line. He was unreal. Obviously, Nikola Jokic put him in those positions because everybody gets so worried about him. 24, 13, and 8 from the big dog there. He just doesn't miss a beat ever. Nikola Jokic, this is 24, 8 and 13 might actually be considered a quiet game for him, which is nuts because that's like getting on the title of our podcast line any other night.
As an owner of him in Supercoach with a big captain on him, I felt disappointed to not see a triple-double. But hey, to meet the average of a triple-double, some days you're going to fall under it, and today's one of those days there. It was definitely the Jamal Murray show out there. Peyton Watson did Peyton Watson things. 11-7 steal, 3 blocks there. You're a very happy owner in the $100 league there, I imagine, mate.
Other than that, Domantas Sabonis.
Oh, yeah, Domantas Sabonis, but you do own Peyton Watson now, so let's look at the positives here, mate. We're all about positivity over here at Ball Logic. Keep the positivity here. Other than that, Bruce Brown off the bench, which was actually quite nice to see. 14 points in 26 minutes for him there with the 4 boards. That actually looks quite nice. Good to see Bruce sort of getting back into a bit better of the role out there.
Yeah, no, it was good there. Obviously, he's played his best basketball at Denver, and he's back home and working his way back into a decent spot in the rotation. Indiana Pacers, mate, they did lose. They've been pretty ordinary, but with some of these ordinary teams, there does become some opportunity to pick up some guys. Jay Huff was picked off waivers just the 18 minutes today, and you start to see Tony Bradley and Isaiah Jackson eat into those minutes, which is something I've been concerned about all year when it comes to the Indiana Pacers center rotation. Go on.
It's very unsure out there. Obviously, they've rotated through having Isaiah Jackson as a starter and Huff coming off the bench. They've moved Huff into the starting lineup recently. Now Huff's having some minutes chopped out. They could change tomorrow. They could change next game and bring Isaiah Jackson back into the starting lineup, and I don't think a soul out there would be surprised.
Can I tell you about a guy I got off waivers this week?
Talk to me about him, mate. Who'd you get?
Andrew Nembhard.
You got Nembhard off waivers?
Yeah, he was dropped. I spent 65% of my FARB on him. It was getting towards the end of the week. He wasn't playing. He hasn't been the best since coming back. But I'm pretty happy from a waiver wire pickup with 16, 7, and 3 and just the 1 turnover from a guy that I think I dropped Jarris Walker for him.
Yeah, okay, that's great value there, Nembhard. If you made it onto your waivers, guys, I'd be all over that there. But can I talk to you about another waiver wire guy out here that I'm a big fan of?
Yep, tell me.
TJ McConnell. He's only in 17% of leagues and down 3% in the last day here. Points-wise, you get some nice numbers out of him. Only the 2 games in the last about 8 here under 10 points, but you're getting assists out of him on the year. It's 10, 2.5, 4.5, and 1.3 steals out of this guy. Today he put up 14 aboard, 6 assists, 3 steals, and a block with just the 1 turnover as a point guard out here, and coming off the bench on just the 16 minutes. This guy is a per 36 beast, and he's on waivers 17% owned. Not on my waiver wire, sadly.
I do think that maybe he could, before I've fully bought in as to him not being a streamer, I need to probably see that 22 to 24 minutes that we started to see towards the end of last year. And I'm just really worried that because Indiana Pacers aren't in many games and TJ McConnell isn't, I say an older gentleman, he's 2 years younger than me, but he's just not he's practically in a wheelchair. But yeah, I just see him as the guy that, if they're struggling, you're not going to put 32-year-old or 33-year-old TJ McConnell out there. You're going to play, your Johnny Furphys and some of these other interesting pieces like your Ben Shepherds and stuff like that. But I think in games that they're involved, TJ McConnell actually gives them the best chance off the bench to win.
Yeah, I like it. Aside from the game against Cleveland before this, obviously 16.5 today, 25, 19, 24, 22 were his games before that. So there is some minutes there. I would want to see them there. Before that, he had come back from injury, so all other games are sub 20 minutes. But I think they've now brought him back into that there. And if he's on your waivers, I'd be jumping all over him. I've actually just checked, and none of my leagues that I care about, he is available in. So that is sad times over here.
Mate, Death taxes and game-winning Luke Cornett blocks will probably be the title of this podcast. And San Antonio Spurs did beat the Orlando Magic today. Of course, they were Wemby-less, which led superstar Luke Cornett into 28 minutes, 5.7 rebounds, 4 assists, and the 3 blocks. One of those blocks should have been elevated to ×3 status because it did win them the game. But De'Aaron Fox has really been taking over a lot of the scoring and led from assists, apart from Dylan Harper, who I think his natural game is to assist. But yeah, De'Aaron Fox is just leading the charge here. Look, I had a few good days with Julian Champagny. I've streamed Harrison Barnes at certain times and got it right at times, but really, it's De'Aaron Fox's world, and we're just living in it when it comes to this San Antonio team, isn't it?
Yeah, with no Wemby and his timeline being a little further out than probably a lot of guys would like to hear as Wemby owners. De'Aaron Fox is the guy that you'd be wanting to have there. Again, there is some additional burn going to the Julian Champagnes, Harrison Barnes, Devin Vassell's getting a bit more burn. Dill Harper, Keldon Johnson, they're leaning on those guys more than expected there. But De'Aaron Fox has been able to take that next step out of a sort of a 3rd, 4th round guy into, like, you could argue that he, at the moment, without Wemby, he could be a top 2 round value guy that he's putting out here. 31, 5 and 5. If you look past the 7 turnovers, it was efficient shooting, 11 to 20. Not so great from the line, 6 of 9, but hey, I don't hate that. And without Wemby, he's proving that there is the great value within there.
And look, I'll let you take us into Orlando Magic and the best fantasy player in the last 7 days. Desmond Bane.
Oh, mate. Big Desmond Bane. He backed up his 37-point average with a big 14 here. Just proving that he's just elite value here. 6 of 15 from the field. Couldn't shoot anything out there, especially not the lights. He was 2 or 3 from deep, which was nice for him. Just the 3 boards and the 6 assists there. Crashing back down to earth from his number 1 ranking in the last 7 days there. In the meantime, though, I will say Jalen Suggs is proving to be great value right now, and he's loving a little bit of no Paolo Banchero out there. 24, 4, and 4 with the 3 steals for this guy. He's proving to be great value for a lot of guys who jumped on him. Anthony Black coming off the bench as the 6th man, 7, 7, and 5. That is great as well for those guys that are looking for those stats there. 2 of 10 from the field, kill you on your field goals. But I'm a big fan of Anthony Black, mate. Who else stands out to you?
It's the 28 minutes that excite me with Anthony Black. And that's more minutes than Jalen Suggs, who had an absolute blinder. It's just like he is allowed to kind of be the guy with that bench unit. And I'm kind of a Tyus Jones guy. So I had my question marks around Anthony Black and what they would do, because this isn't particularly what I would do. I like, that point guard that can pass and can facilitate. But when Desmond Bane is being that facilitator, when Franz Wagner can be that facilitator, it's just decent to have somebody like Anthony Black and Jalen Suggs out there. And Anthony Black has definitely beat out Tyus Jones, and honestly probably should be rostered in most leagues, and especially if you're tanking that field goal percentage.
Yeah, exactly. He's certainly piquing my interest here. If I can dig him out of some leagues, I will there. Franz Wagner doing Franz Wagner things out here, 25, 4, and 6 with 2 steals and a block there. He's actually proving to excel as well with no Paolo Banchero. I don't think the Magic hate that they're missing him at the moment, and I think that showed in their not so aggressive desire to rush him back, because they don't necessarily need him too much here. Other than that, that's about all they were key missing here, and they just knew how to rock up, get the job done.
Absolutely. The Clippers played the Hawks. Tell me what you think about Chris Paul being waived.
I think it's bullshit, but that's my opinion. The fact him and Ty Lue weren't chatting, that I'm not a coach, but I do believe that the coach does need to talk to his players, and the players should talk to the coach. And if you don't, there is going to be some problems there. I think it's probably disappointing to see the way it's ended. I get the Clippers have got to do something. Do I think it's the way to go? No. But it's probably more disappointing to see after all of these wonderful years at the Clippers that this is the way that it ends. but wish the man the best, and I reckon he's going to enjoy sitting at home, putting his feet up, and watching a bit of Clippers basketball, hopefully in 2036 when they're relevant.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to throw shade at people, but when you have a look at a team that's currently rostering, who is it, Jamal Telford, I think that they probably could have just held Chris Paul. I don't know, and I'm sure it'll come out on one of the NBA players' many podcasts. I know he's friends with Podcast P a little bit, so maybe it'll come out on something like that. But I do think that maybe Chris Paul might have expressed that he wanted to come in, maybe win a championship, and there was 5-16 going into today. So yeah, maybe the Clippers weren't giving Chris Paul what he wanted either. But yeah, look, we are a fantasy podcast, so we should probably talk some numbers. 27, 4 and 9 from James Harden, 21, 6 and 5. Kawhi Leonard just seems to be under no minutes restrictions or anything like that. They're really high on Kobe Sanders, this team, aren't they?
Yeah, big on him there. He's playing the 27 minutes and leading the bench unit there. So, and obviously with a few starts as well for him, he played more minutes than Chris Dunn, who was the starter here. But it looks like they are leaning into what youth they probably got here, and it's probably going to be come the back end of the year. Sanders, like Harden, Sanders, Kawhi, Collins, Zubac. I expect that to probably be the starting lineup, and Lopez maybe taking away from John Collins a bit, maybe, but that's about it there. So I'm a big fan of what they're doing there to use him. But who else is out here that was good? Zubac he got his Windex out and started cleaning some glass out here, mate, with 17 boards.
Yeah, the 5 assists is what you get a little bit out of character from Zubac today. And John Collins is slowly working his way back into some fantasy relevance. I dropped him in a lot of leagues, considering I drafted him in a lot of leagues, but 15 and 9 is enough for me to hold. So I'm probably going to start picking him up. I think right now he has been something like the 140th ranked player for the season. So yeah, I expect that to start picking up. The 125th ranked player, so he's got a bump in the last couple of days, but 32 minutes and 3, 4, 5 of his last 6 games in the 30 minutes tells me that he's back in favour with the coach. Yeah, wheels up, John Collins. It's not the most exciting pickup. It could be one of the more safer pickups. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to win you some matchups, but it's definitely not going to lose you any. You're never going to look at your team for the week and think, it's John Collins is why I lost this week.
No, you never will. And yeah, if nothing else, if he lives on some of your shallow leagues, he's proving to be at least good streaming value as well there. But obviously, we didn't. I don't know how hard we touched on this score here, but the Clippers did make out with the W here, 115-92 here, which probably shocked a lot of people. But on the other side of the court, we were missing no Tingus Pingus. We also had no Jalen Johnson here. Yeah, that. They were missing a lot. Obviously no Trey, no Jalen Johnson, and no Kristaps Porzingis. It was like Dyson Daniels and, his 7 doors.
You did say there was no Trey, but there was Mo Gay. 23 points, 23 minutes, 0.6 rebounds. He wasn't the answer. I really think that, like Nickel Alexander did Nickel Alexander Walker things. But I do think people like Dyson Daniels and Zachary Ricochet and Onyeka Okongwu do need to step it up in games like this. And I think if I was an Atlanta Hawks fan, I'd be very disappointed with this performance. LA Clippers have, frankly, fucking sucked. And, they thought that maybe with some of these guys out that they could have still given them a run for their money. I say they might have even circled this one a little bit if they did have to rest some of these extra guys. And, man, they just sucked, and they looked awful too. Like they didn't even look good.
Yeah, and like some of these plus minuses are shocking. Onyeka Okongwu -19, Dyson Daniels -24, Nicky Alexander-Walker -17, Vic Krejci -25 in not even 25 minutes. The positives here, though, is the bench guys did do a bit here. Luke Kennard in 20 minutes was +8. Asa Newell in 18 minutes +5. Keaton Wallace was +1 in his 19 minutes. So the bench unit did do something, but the starters are actually where it all went downhill.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk about it. It was that disgusting. So
Yep,
I think we need to move on from the Atlanta Hawks.
Where we go next?
New York Knicks beat the Charlotte Hornets, which was to be expected. But one thing I am excited about was 37 minutes from LaMelo Ball, 34 points, 8 and 9. Probably we did a mailbag show on Sunday, and LaMelo Ball was the guy that was getting asked the most amount of questions about. And this is what we expect. Whether you think that he's playing to get traded, I don't care. This is the LaMelo Ball that we know and love. Only the 4 turnovers today. And I know it feels weird saying only the 4 turnovers, but when this man is cooking, he is turning the ball over too. But a near triple-double. LaMelo Ball, take a bow. You've reignited me, and I'm very excited to see you back out there again. And you know what? All is right in the world when Colin Sexton's playing 9 minutes, because that is the Colin Sexton that I know and love.
Oh, mate, we've talked about Sexton. We talked about Balls. Now we're going to talk about some bit of Cork as well. 8 and 9 for Ryan Corkbrenner coming off the bench as well. Moussa Diabate did get the start out there, but Corkbrenner did outshine him with some minutes, which is becoming a bit of a trend across a lot of the league here, where just because someone's a starter doesn't mean they're getting the minutes. So it is something to keep an eye on when you are picking your guys up, is see where the minutes are going, because if they are coming off the bench and getting the minutes over the starters, definitely still look into that as well, because they are probably getting some good value where they are looking to be first or second options on the floor at that point in time there. Ryan Corcoran is just proving that he was 2 of 4. He was only 50% from the field today, which by his standards was incredibly poor. So I have no doubt he'll get better. Out here, other than that, it was probably disappointment for Miles Bridges owners. He started the year on an absolute tear, just the 8 and 6 today. 3 of 12 from the field, none of 5 from deep. Did hit his 2 free throw shots, but that was about it. And -28 on the plus minus. That is not good for their owners.
No. Look, Charlotte Hornets haven't been fantastic, so I'll give them a pass, because to be honest, there's not much else you can do against the New York Knicks, who, they made the conference finals last year, so they're a good team. It's funny that Tom Thibodeau got fired for giving the guys too much burn, and all of their starters played above 34 minutes today.
Yeah. I picked up Jordan Clarkson, obviously, with the back-to-back, and was happy that at least I got 20 minutes out of this guy as the best off the bench here. But we had 36, 36, 39, 36, and 34 minutes across the starters here. Mate, it was the cat show out there. 35, 18, 5, and 2 steals. We'll get Maliani with his cat ears again. Oh, those were the days. He was 13 of 23 from the field, 3 from deep, and 6 or 7 from the line here. He's just proving that, when he does get the minutes and the burn, and no Mitchell Robinson quite notably here, that he is proving that he can be that first round value that we seen him going in drafts. But if he's not playing 39 minutes, and he does certainly slide into second round value.
Mitchell Robinson, I swear Mitchell Robinson walks within 15 meters of Karl Anthony Towns, and then Karl Anthony Towns turns into, I don't know, Anton Jameson. But like, when Mitchell Robinson leaves the building, the man just turns into Shaq. I don't know. I can't explain it. But look, as somebody that captained Karl Anthony Towns last week in Supercoach, I'm disappointed that I traded him out for Giannis for one, but because I brought him in for a captain option as sort of a 1 week play. I saw Mitchell Robinson coming back in. He was poor when Mitchell Robinson was in the lineup. I'm pretty disappointed non-owner at the moment. But look, people can have their flowers. I wasn't this high on Cat, and he definitely has those games where he has absolute rip snorters.
I don't think any of us were this high on Cat at all. Looking at our pre-draft boards. No one was in the first round, mate. So we will give the people their flowers when they deserve it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Look, honestly, there's not too much. The Knicks just did Knicks things with that starting lineup. So let's move into the Brooklyn Nets, mate. Beating the Chicago Bulls again. I can't tip the Chicago Bulls any game because they just don't do what I expect them to do. I thought the Brooklyn Nets were a way worse team than Chicago Bulls, and they come out and beat them.
Yeah, they really did, and they proved that they're using a lot of their young guys. Danny Wolf got plenty of burn. Your Yemen getting his 25 minutes here. I don't know why this man's taking 5 threes, but sure. Michael Porter Jr. and Noah Clowney getting really good burn here as well. 33 for MPJ, 10 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block there. He's going to have so much trade value come the deadline. Noah Clowney, 27 and 2 for that man. And Nick Claxton just stacking the box sheet. 14, 8, 9, 2, 3, and a turnover. There's just so many numbers there. I love it. Other than that, the rest of it was just sort of by committee outside of MPJ.
Yeah, no, it was. And like the disappointing thing with the Bulls is like, you see Giddey and he seems like he's in all-star form. You have a look and like Desunu played well. You have a look and Bazelis has done what he's supposed to do. Vucevic has done what he's supposed to do. But yeah, there's just nobody else putting their hand up for this team. Like, look, should I mention NBL superstars Trenton Flowers and Lockie Ulbrich? Like Kobe White sat out in this one. They have had their own injury concerns, but like, are we going to start turning to Patrick Williams back into the Bulls starting lineup again, which didn't work for 3 years? I just don't know what the Bulls can do. Like losing to the Brooklyn Nets is honestly embarrassing.
It is, and you can't look at the fact that, like, okay, yes, they're missing Kevin Huerter, they're missing Kobe White, they're missing, Jalen Smith, who's proven to be pretty good this year so far, Isaac Okoro, sure, but like Brooklyn was still missing Cam Thomas, they're still missing Terrence Mann, who's proven to be pretty good for him. So, like, this is still the Brooklyn Nets that we're just expecting him to go for pick 1 again this year. I think I'm done talking about both these teams, mate. They are just disgusting.
A team that I think I'm going to get pretty over talking about is the Sacramento Kings. None of their starters scored above 12 points today against the Houston Rockets, which is kind of unheard of. I understand why they just want to trade everybody from their team. I'm going to gloss over them. Malik Monk scored 25 points and Maxime Reynaud scored 25 points. But with Houston, like Şengün has been an absolute gun. This is kind of what owners of Amen Thompson thought they were going to get. Like Kevin Durant doing Kevin Durant things. Like kind of nice from the Rockets, but like I don't know what being a Kings fan is like being a North Melbourne fan at the moment.
Oh, great that you, the NRL guy, got an AFL reference in there for me. That makes far more sense than a NRL reference here, mate. If there's one guy that I do want to just have a bit of a rage at, Zach LaVine, what are you doing here, bro? 2 points? I have you in my team, so you score points. You gave me 2. Sorry, I just needed to get that out of my system. I seen that in my lineup and just needed to yell at somebody about it. So thanks for listening.
That's fair. He's not Malik Monk. So
Reed Shepard as well. He came off the bench for this one. We still did get the 27 minutes, but Josh Okogie got the start over him out there as well. So again, the Rockets are just going to trial a few different lineups here.
I think it was matchup based.
Yeah, it's interesting they went with the big lineup versus the not so big front court, I guess, like Keegan Murray, Drew Eubanks, DeMar DeRozan, sort of, the wings. I don't know why the KD, Jabari, Sengun lineup was rolled there, but hey, they rolled. It worked. It wasn't a Steven Adams lineup, so we're all happy here.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
This was just yuck.
Yeah, let's get that garbage out of here. The Dallas Mavericks beat the Norman Powell-less Miami Heat. And that's really what I'm putting this win down to, because Norman Powell's been so good. He's been carrying this team on his back, 2 victories. Khalil Ware was the best player for the Miami Heat with 22 and 10. Tyler Hero's probably just not up to scratch as the leader of this team yet.
Nope.
I think coming back from this injury.
Yeah, it's not as good as you'd want out of him. He's come back and he's doing some things and he's looking okay at times here, but he's just not looking everything that you would expect him to be. So yeah, it's good to see like the usage probably back where we were expecting it a bit more. Bam shot 19 shots, Hero shot 17, Wiggins shot 18, which is what you'd expect with no Norm. And then yeah, Khalil Ware coming off the bench there for the 11. I think I like Khalil Ware coming off the bench far more than that starting lineup. So seeing him on the bench, I think just makes me so much happier. On the other side of the fence here, though, mate, we've seen AD back just dropping 17s here, there, and everywhere. He took 17 shots, got 17 points, and he got 17 boards. He's just loving the number 17 out here. And the starting lineup did things by committee. 22, 18, 17, 10, and 15 points for all the starters. And Klay Thompson is the sixth man out here as well, coming off the bench with 17 points as well.
Yeah, Ryan Nembhard's one that I want to keep an eye on the waivers. 15 and 13 assists there. Assists don't grow on trees when it comes to the waiver wire. All those late guys that you rotate in, which is why we probably had reels about Vince Williams Jr. But Ryan Nembhard is probably the next guy to go get those assists from. Really good game from him. Obviously, Andrew Nembhard's brother there playing for Dallas.
Yeah, big fan of that, and we all know that they don't like D'Lo out there, so I think we're all off the D'Lo experiment, and let's ride the Ryan Nembhard experiment.
But to be honest, that Ryan Nembhard has beat out D'Lo for his spot. He's beat out Brandon Williams as well. Like Ryan Nembhard has kind of come from the clouds as somebody that I wasn't really expecting to play much at all, and man, like the team looks so much better. And like you have a look at their last few games and Dallas have been winning. And of course, Anthony Davis come back. But I think this is the lineup that is going to take them forward. Like, you're not gambling with your Gaffords and that sort of stuff. And of course, Najee Marshall's going to duck out and PJ Washington's going to slide back in there. But yeah, I think that this is the team that Dallas can maybe stay in the hunt for playoffs and hope that Kyrie comes back in the new year and can take them to that next level.
Yeah, for sure, mate. Is that wrap us up, or are we missing a game here? I think that is.
No, that is all the games, mate. We did say that we would have a little bit of a chat about the waiver wire, and the most popular ad has been Andre Drummond in the last couple of days, and it's only taken 17 minutes in his last game to get that double-double, 12 and 10. With Embiid being out, Andre Drummond is in favor a lot more than a Dem Boner. So, yeah, he is one that I'm cool with adding in nearly every format. Like, yes, he maybe does hurt you a bit in some categories, but he doesn't seem to get to the line enough to ruin to really ruin that for you. And it's just like if Embiid's out, Andre Drummond is 100% an ad, and Embiid is out so much that I'm like kind of cool with adding him all the time.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a big fan of rolling with basically whoever is the replacement out there for Joel Embiid, because I think he's proven his body can't hold up out there. On the other side of the slate here with Golden State, I am still all over the Will Richard option here. If you can get Podziemski out there, big fan of that. Other than that, we have obviously Steph Curry's out for a few games here with his quad. And we have Jimmy Butler listed as questionable for tomorrow there. I expect that to be a pretty common trend.
Yeah, I did add Jared McCain in a league. I'm just testing the waters a bit. I'm not really holding out too much hope, but I did add him. I did need somebody. So yeah, look, I have taken the gamble there. I'm not really touching anybody on the Celtics, but Justin Champagny. Of course, we chatted about Julian earlier. He played 24 minutes in his last game, 13, 7, a steal, a block, and assists. I do think at 2% owned, if you did want to have a gamble, he's not too bad. And Chris Middleton played 30 plus minutes in 2 of his last 3 games, despite missing one before. Look, he's been getting points and a serviceable streamer. Just don't expect the Chris Middleton of old.
Yeah, exactly. The only other guy at the moment is Marvin Bagley, 15% rostered plus 14% in the last day there. He gave us 5 blocks last time out. We still have Alex Sarr out, so he is someone worth looking into out there. He's 8 boards in each game over his last 2 games and put in some points there. So I'm a big fan of that ad there. We also have no Bilal Koulibaly for the next few weeks at least here. So look for potentially some burn out of probably Cam Whitmore a bit more as well. So I don't mind that as well. But just see what happens over the next few weeks.
Yeah, mate. With the Jazz, I've got 2. I've got Svi Mikhailuk, my favorite name to say in the NBA. He's played 25 plus minutes in his last couple games, and I've got Kyle Filipowski, 15% rostered, played 31 and 29 minutes in his last couple. 12-7, 12-8, 3 assists, 4 assists. He is sort of entering, and obviously these are waiver wire guys. I'm not saying they're must roster, but if you're looking to get some certain stats, there's some people that I could get around. And I suppose if you still believe in Ace Bailey, he's going to absolutely ruin your field goal percentage, but it just feels like he will have a 30-point game soon. The way that he's playing with a lot of confidence. He just needs, Laurie or one of these other guys to take a misstep one day. And it'll be Ace Bailey's day.
Yep, for sure. On the other side of the park, I don't really like anybody. Maybe a Your Yemen out there if you're looking for some assists there and some points there. He will cost you your field goal percentage, but honestly, that's about all I like talking about with the Brooklyn Nets there, just because I like talking about a big, tall point guard from Russia. Lakers, Toronto, mate. Anything you like from the Lakers? They've just been a bit meh for me this year.
Yeah, they haven't been. I just think that they're top heavy. I think that there's 3 guys that I want to own from this team. And I don't want a bar of anyone else. Like a week ago, I would have said, I'm interested in, Jackson Hayes when Ayton was out. But really, I don't think that this is a team to stream. And I don't want to be, negative, but I actually feel the same way with the Raptors. Their top 5 players that I really want in my team. But yeah, every time I've tried to stream from the Raptors, I just haven't got enough out of them. So look, I'm not interested in Raptors either.
Only one guy, Jamal Shed. If you want assists, he is your guy.
And steals.
And steals. And just because I want to try to pronounce this, someone that I'm not going to look at, but let's just say his name, Sandro Mamu. Mamu Kalashvili. There we go. Sandro Mamushvili.
No, Mamu Kalashvili. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I practice that in the mirror. So yeah, you're welcome. And it's Diorman too. It's Igor Diorman.
Diorman.
Yeah, Diorman. Yeah. So it almost sounds like a J, but it's you pronounce it as like D-double-E Orman. You're welcome. It's really a passion of mine to be able to say these names correctly.
Yeah, you must live on Basketball Reference that. I will brush up on my Russian. I appreciate the advice. Minnesota, New Orleans. Right? This is the last game for tomorrow. Anyone? There could be some options.
Yeah, New Orleans always has some options, and I've been really surprised seeing how well rostered or how little rostered, your Sadiq Bays and your Derek Queens are. Eves Meesy's been missing in the last couple. So look, it's wheels up with Zion out, with Eves Meesy out, with Zion on the outs also. Like it looks like these guys are, they're doing tanking right. They're trading away their best player, and they are going to tank. So look, yeah, I'm cool with just getting young players on this team. So yeah, I think that's really where you need to look. I think if Jeremiah Fears is still not rostered in your team and in your league, and look, maybe somebody like my Andrew Nembhard one, maybe somebody just dropped him in a league because they needed to win. Because I do think it kind of feels like a cupcake league if Jeremiah Fears isn't rostered. But man, like maybe people just don't watch the New Orleans Pelicans because they're not on KO and Foxtel. So yeah, look, I do think that you should yeah, there's a lot of young talent that you could add from the Pels.
Yeah, exactly. There's also the likes of Jose Alvarado, who's been getting a bit of burn recently as well. If you want a nicer, safer pick, he'll get you some threes, he'll get you some assists, he'll get you some points out there, and won't hurt you too much in most cases, and tends to be really good on the per 36 numbers. Other than that, mate, I think that about wraps us up there. We have a fair few good streaming options for tomorrow. Is there anything else we're going to do before we wrap up, or?
Mate, it was a 44-minute show. It definitely wasn't a rapid-fire recap. It was just a recap. But that's what we bring at Ball Logic. You know, we bring a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah, bit of pizzazz.
Look, guys, you've had me and Flanders 2 days in a row. You are welcome. We'll be back to Horse and Braino tomorrow. We covered for him earlier on in the week. I'm back on Sunday. I believe Flanders is back next week. But
I'm back next week.
You've listened to a Ball Logic podcast. Cheerio.
See you guys.